matching plants to light conditions. When you are picking plants for your home, one of the most important things is that you know where you're going to put it so that you know what kind of lighting your space can support. So you have to combine the light needs of the plant with a realistic light available in the spot where you want to put the plant. And this is sort of like a matchmaking process, but it's really important for the success of your plant that you don't buy plants that need high light if you don't have anywhere in your home to put them that will get high light. You just have to be realistic and pick plants that work with the space you really have. So the different lighting needs of plants. Low light is areas with minimal direct sunlight, could be north facing window, could be a shaded corner, could be away from natural light entirely. Medium light is going to be bright indirect sunlight. That's what a lot of houseplants say that they want. Usually that's an east or west facing window, right in the window. It could be a little bit in the sunbeam, inside the window on a very bright south facing window as well. And then bright light is usually direct sunlight. That would be a south-facing window or areas that just get strong, consistent light, a lot of hours of light, very bright light throughout the day. Remember that lighting inside your home changes seasonally as the direction of the sun changes in the sky a little bit. The way that the light hits your home is going to change seasonally. So it's important that you observe light and really have a good feel for how it hits your space so you can best predict how your plants will react seasonally. Low light plants, there's a lot of plants that are advertised as low or no light. I have a couple of ZZ plants, but I love this picture I took at either Home Depot or Lowe's. I can't remember, just of a ton of them all together. They're so lush and beautiful. Love a ZZ plant. And I love that they thrive in shaded areas. They don't really need any light. I will say that they grow brighter coloration and faster, bigger leaves, more lush when they do get sunlight, but they can live and survive kind of like not growing, but existing in areas without much light whatsoever. Other low light plants are a snake plant, ZZ plant, certain pothos plants that do not have a lot of variegation, like a golden pothos can do just fine in a low light area. They just will not thrive. Remember, low light plants need less watering usually. Light helps the water dry and evaporate, and low light plants tend to stay a little bit more moist longer. So remember to water them a little less when they get less light. Also, remember to rotate your plants occasionally to make sure you're getting even growth. Then most plants are going to fall in the category of medium light plants. They want bright indirect light. This is an east or west facing window. This is maybe a little ways away from a south facing window. This is on a covered porch. Anywhere where they're getting really filtered but still bright light. I have pothos on both these lists, but this is like variegated pothos. Pothos with a lot of patterning to its leaves tends to like a little bit more bright light to keep that coloration in their leaves. Philodendron very similarly does moderate light, moderate watering, and peace lily is another great example of a medium light plant. You want to water consistently, but don't overwater, and make sure there's good air circulation to prevent mold growth on your soil. So you can run a fan or just make sure the plants are not too clustered together. And then some plants want really bright, direct sun to thrive. This will be a south-facing window. This will be outside on a porch where it gets directly hit by the sun, anything like that. This picture is my dogtail cactus, which I have hanging on our front porch, and it gets hit with full sun for a lot of the day, and it loves it. It's very happy out there. So this is going to be succulents, cacti, fiddle leaf fig, like really bright light, but do not want direct sunlight. So like you can't put a fiddle leaf fig on your patio. I've tried. They'll get sunburned, but they really want to be in a south facing window where they get really bright light. So you have to find the perfect balance on some of these plants. Make sure you have good drainage and rotate your plants regularly. And when you put a plant in bright light, especially when you first move it, it's really important to check on it every day. Make sure it's not getting sunburn, which is big white or crispy spots on the leaves, and make sure it's just still feeling happy in its new spot. So remember, always observe your space before you put plants there. See what the different light conditions are in different times of the day, ideally even in different times of the year. Then you can select plants that match the actual realistic light conditions you can provide. Monitor your plant health. You can move the placement based off the plant's response. Remember, if you put a plant in a spot, it's not glued there. You can move it seasonally or you can move it immediately, just if it's having a problem. My tall fiddle leaf figs I put on my porches during the summer. They love the humidity and the bright light outside. They can't stay outside in the winter though, so I have to bring them inside to a window, and I add grow lights in the winter. So adjusting placement is fine. I do suggest doing it gradually to avoid putting your plants into shock. So move them in bit by bit to their spot, changing the conditions just a little bit at a time, to make sure they don't get too angry. And then when in doubt, you can add supplemental grow lights for these bright, loving plants just to help them get a little extra light.